the Zenith of Power. Possibly the most difficult individual event in the game, where the 10 richest players in every continent can win a legendary city theme with special attributes. Or hardworking and patient hoarders like me. I saved up 10 years worth of Speedups to win a legendary city theme in a Zenith of Power event. 3,514 days and 33 minutes to be accurate. All this time I've been waiting and saving my Speedups and resources for the right conditions. Which were, firstly and most importantly, a Zenith of Power that would appear between 2 KVKs, or at the end of a KVK where the winner is already decided. Simply because I believe that it doesn't worth getting a legendary city skin if it means that you can't help your kingdom during KVK fights. So I needed the Zenith to start and end when I still have time to gather enough resources for the upcoming fights. Secondly, given that I'm an infantry player, and because Lilith never put an infantry theme into the KVK shop, I wanted a legendary infantry theme that would be able to help my marches to get better on the open field. And between these 2 KVKs, finally all planets have aligned. Fruitdealer! So, putting aside the catchy opening lines, I wasn't actually saving my Speedups for this specific Zenith. It's just, if I have learned something in this game, that is how to save everything you earn until the right moment and opportunity presents itself to spend them. I still use Speedups to heal my troops during fights, and to speed some troop training up for Bastion quests, but didn't spend them for a conscious power push. Until now, I was never really sure if I really wanted to participate in a Zenith of Power. It always seemed like a very stressful event, where the reward doesn't necessarily worth the effort. When you think about it, there's a 5% stat difference between an epic city theme that you can get for free and a legendary city theme that would cost you a fortune worth spending all your Speedups and resources for, when there is no actual guarantee that you can win? I mean, what if you go through all the trouble to try to get in the top 10 and in the end you only reach rank 11? That sounds like a very painful experience. A moment of silence for everyone who has been pushed back to rank 11 at the end of a Zenith. Of course, for rally leaders and flag garrisons, it is something that can make a difference, as 5% of extra stat might give you the edge over the opponent. It was about a year ago when a 10% health Atlantis theme appeared. I got the idea that even though I don't have the Speedups and resources needed to win that theme, but if I keep being careful with my Speedups, I could have a shot for the next one, which undoubtedly, according to my logic, should be a defense theme. Following my logic, we had health first, then defense, then health again, so the next one should be defense too, right? Yeah, I totally forgot about that one already. Health was a no-go, because it's the ultimate whale fest. But maybe less whales would want the defense? My plan was ready. I kept being careful with my Speedups, and the time has finally come to get my hands on a defense theme. And then, what? Attack? But that's the worst stat in the game. Wow, it's 15%. But it's attack. Wow, the design looks really cool. But it's attack. It's a legendary theme, and most whales won't go for it anyways. But it's attack. So after many days of bothering my alliance members whether or not I should go for this theme, in the end I decided to go for it. As for why, I will answer in a few seconds. A lot of people ask me, how long did it take to save up this many Speedups? How much did I spend on the game? And why don't I just keep saving for a better defense or health theme? To answer these questions, I had to go back in time a little bit, and thanks to my terrible habit of taking screenshots of everything in this game, it was relatively easy to do. I just had to dig through hundreds, if not thousands of screenshots to find the ones I was looking for. So, before this Zenith, I did 2 big power pushes for 2 different events. The first one I did was back in 1st of March of 2020. It was then when I finally maxed out all my buildings and researches and unlocked T5, winning a game of power event by increasing my power from 49 to 62 million, to get 20 gold heads, 3000 gems and a bit of other stuff. The second big power push I did was back in 12th of July in 2020, where after many boring but rewarding KVKs, I tried to win a Leo MGE but got beaten by whales and only got rank 3 in the end. After this, I mostly spent my Speedups on Bastion training quests and smaller events and grew steadily till eventually on 14th of March in 2021 I reached 89 million power, which has been the highest power I've had till now. After that, we had some of the best KVKs, we faced many great alliances and kingdoms, which of course sent many of my troops to Valhalla. And ever since then, my troop count has been actively decreasing. So why did I decide to push on this Zenith, even though it's an attack skin? Because I needed troops. If I decided to keep saving and wait for the next infantry Zenith, which maybe will be defense, I would need to wait 1 more year for that to come, and that would mean 2 or 3 KVKs where I wouldn't be able to help my kingdom as much as I potentially would be able to, which just felt selfish. Also, another big reason was that I have been careful with my Speedups for so long that I started to forget the joy of just going all out and not needing to worry about saving up. I wanted to be free of this hoarding mindset this game put me into, and just wanted to be able to properly enjoy the game. How much did I spend on the game? As a low spender, there are only a few certain bundles and offers I buy. Outside of KVK, I only buy the daily gem supply, the Writer of History, and the legendary material pop-up bundles. And when the KVK begins, I buy the daily crystal supply, the crystal mine boost bundle, and the first 2 pop-up bundles for upgrading the crystal mine and the crystal research center. So, after I carefully counted all my speedups and resources I had to make sure that I have the chance of winning the Zenith, the event has finally started. It was time to get ready. As I mentioned before, I had 3,514 days and 33 minutes of speedups. And resources wise, I had about 3.58 billion food, 3.67 billion wood, 4.73 billion stone, and 1.76 billion gold. I had 2 ways around it. 1. I upgrade my T4s to T5 before I start to train fresh T5s for the maximum power gain. Or 2. I just train fresh T5s without upgrading my T4s. If I went with the first option, thanks that thing to calculate it for me, I would have the potential to train up to 52 million power of troops. But I still chose the second option, since I used T4 on the open field and T5 to reinforce rallies and flags. I couldn't just upgrade all my T4s. So while I knew that this way I would be able to gain less power, I was hoping that it will be enough to win. For the duration of the event, our kingdom has delayed killing the guardians for better chances at getting the runes at the right time, and scheduled a training kingdom buff for 15 UTC, which for me meant 11 PM. Sleepless nights, here I come. We have started the first day with some good luck, got a 15% training rune right off the hook, which meant that I could begin my push. The problem was that I got busy at work and missed the first 2 hours of the buff. Anyways, before it was my turn to get the Duke title, I opened up my remaining silver and gold keys for any extra speedups and resources I can get my hands on. And I switched my civilization to Germany for the extra 5% troop training speed. I picked up the rune, and finally, I got the title. I was on 76 million power with 4.6 million troops. Just ignore this here. It was time to whale up. Let the training begin. I started off with using my 20k level 5 reserves to increase the training capacity. I was training troops as fast as I could, equally training infantry, cavalry and archers. I will need all 3 troop types to reinforce flags and rallies anyways. And the new archers meta has just arrived, so I was expecting to see a lot of archer rallies in the upcoming KVK. I was training and training until my 10 minutes under the Duke title has come to an end, and I had to apply for it once again. I'm sure that it's different between every kingdom, but I quickly realized that the biggest challenge is going to be getting the title enough times to train as many troops as I can. Obviously, I was not the only participant who was trying to win the new city theme. My teammates, Eddie and Martin, were pushing as well. Also, with the rune and the buff on, every other people who weren't participating in the Zenith have applied for the Duke title too. Some wanted to get the 1 million power for the rewards, some just wanted to use the good buff to train a few troops a little faster. All in all, it took a really long time to get the title again. Before I started my push, the scores were already getting above 20+ million power. Rank 1 was on 23 million points, but rank 10 was only 5 million. And for this event, that is the rank you want to keep your eyes on. Before I got the title back, I opened a few resource packs, and when I got the title again, I started to train. This time, I used up my level 4 reserves for the 10k training capacity, and once I ran out of them, I started to use the level 5 ones again. I was making some good progress, and was powering up real fast. But then, my time with the Duke title has expired once again, and so did the Kingdom buff. Because I got home late today and I missed the first 2 hours of the buff, I only managed to get the Duke title twice before the buff has expired. Within this time, on day 1, I managed to power up to 95 million power, which immediately took me to rank 4 with 19.4 million points. The new rank 1 was already on 26.3 million power, while rank 10 was on 10 million. Unfortunately, day 2 didn't bring as much luck as the first day. We didn't get a 15% training rune, only a 10%. I had to make a decision. Do I train with a 10% rune and lose 5% speed, or hope that on day 3 and day 4 we will get a 15% rune? In the end, I decided that training a little bit today and hoping for better runes tomorrow was the right decision. After all, what if there is only a 7% training rune on day 3, or not at all? I powered up from 95 to 101 million power, which was 25 million points for me in overall, which took me to rank 3. This was also the time when I finally used up the resources I had on me, and I had to start to open up my resource tokens. Then I decided that this was enough power push for today, and I would wait for the next day for a better rune. With day 2 finishing, the Lord of War event has finished too, which was going on simultaneously with the Zenith event. I got rank 2, which got me 2000 gems, 10 gold heads, and 48 hours of speedups. Don't ask me why I didn't push for rank 1. I'm not going to snipe the rank of a bro. Rank 2 was perfectly fine for me. These extra 10 heads had already made my Zenith push a little more valuable. Then day 3 has arrived and our bad luck has continued. But this time I had no choice. I had to push. Day 4 of the Zenith of Power was overlapping with the first day of the Mightiest Governor event, which normally wouldn't be a big issue. but this was the first time when the new archer commander Henry has appeared, and because within 2 weeks we would be fighting against other camps, this was the first and only Henry MGE, at least till the fights, where the kingdom could have given the heads to our archer rally leaders and other archer players. So for perfectly right reasons, they forbid us to push for the Zenith during the last day, unless it's an emergency. So it was now or never. By this time I used up all my level 4 and level 5 reserves, and I was saving the last 50k reserves for a last second emergency push. Training without the capacity boost significantly slowed down my progress, but thankfully by this time it was only us Zenith participants who were asking for the title, which gave me a lot more opportunities to train troops. Even if it was slow, I still managed to push up from 101 to 111 million power, which took me to rank 2 on the leaderboard with 35.4 million overall points, with rank 1 being on 37.6 million power and rank 10 on 29.1 million. The rankings were very close, which was a guarantee for a very intense last day. And then, the last day has come. Things didn't change much while I was sleeping, but the Lucky Stall event has arrived, which meant that you could train troops cheaper than usual. This alone should motivate players to keep on pushing. Given that we weren't allowed to push with troops today because of the MGE, I was relieved to see there was only a 7-person training rune. But still, it made me think how unfair Zenith of Power can be. Because while some kingdoms are in a KVK, enjoying the countless places where they can get runes from, some kingdoms are still in their home kingdom, relying only on the Lost Temple to give them the desired 15% rune. But anyways, this is a gamble one must be aware of when decides to go for a Zenith push. On the last day, nobody was really pushing and the scores didn't change much. It was clear that everyone is waiting for the final minutes to get in or stay in the top 10. Then finally, the last hour has begun. People below rank 10 started to train, pushing the rank 10 line dangerously closer to the top ranks. The points were very close, so it was easy to climb and fall on the rankings. I kept refreshing the leaderboard to see who is pushing. It didn't take long to see Shadow Hunter pass by me, while Turtle Shell was holding rank 10, with many others waiting to snipe him. After passing me, Shadow Hunter quickly pushed up to 37 million points, while the rest of the leaderboard didn't move much. Then soon, this gentleman here passed me as well, so I went down to rank 4. Then half an hour before the end, it started to become very intense. The bottom rank 10 score quickly changed from 30 million to 32 million, with many others pushing up for it as well. I was getting in a dangerous position, with only 2.5 million points away from the bottom line. There was only 15 minutes before the end, and nobody was putting up any score, which obviously meant that everyone is planning to snipe positions in the last few seconds. But so was I. It was time to show that I didn't come unprepared for the finals. I couldn't train much troops because of the MGE, but I still had something else waiting to give me points. Back when I unlocked my T5 tech, I actually never finished the level 10 siege defense and the T5 siege researches. And with them, I could get an extra 1.6 million power. High five to the past myself. I knew back then that the day would come when these researches would come really useful. And today was the day. The last 5 minutes has begun. It was time to get into position. Rank 8, 9, 10 and 11 were all on 32 million points, very close to each other. And I was really worried about Eddie. He was very close to be pushed out from the top 10. Then the last minute has arrived and it was time to take action. I was spending my research speedups as fast as I could to finish the siege defense and the T5 research. Alongside the 66,000 T5 troops, I started to train yesterday while the kingdom buff was still on. Everyone was pushing in the last seconds, the scores were going up, and I started to worry. Then in the last seconds, I collected them all. Then finally, the event has ended. And I got rank 3, which meant that I got my very first legendary city theme. Actually, it took a few minutes till the results for the top 10 have come out, and we were all worried about Eddie, who was so close to the rank 10 line. First, he was unsure whether or not he managed to stay in the top 10. We kept texting him, and then he sent this. Guys, I was rank 11. In Sunset Canyon, rank 10 in Zenith. Oh, the cheeky little bastard. We both managed to get the city skin, but unfortunately, Martin didn't succeed. To celebrate our success, I TP'd to him, so we could look very fancy together. Wow, this city theme indeed looks awesome. But my celebration ended early, because as it turned out, I broke the MGE cap, which meant that I will need to pay some resources to others. Now, how much resources and speedups did it cost me to win this legendary city theme? Let's get to the numbers. I started the event with 76,001,376 power, and I finished it on 130,959,076, which meant that during these 4 days, I put up 38,035,000 power. Before the event, I had 4,603,171 troops, and now, after the event, I have 8,059,187, which meant that I trained 1,591,000 T5 infantry, 1,145,200 T5 cavalry, and 1,052,000 T5 archers. And now let's take a look of what I had to spend to train all these troops. This is how much resources I had before the event, and this is how much I have now, which means that in total I spent 2.1 billion food, 1.97 billion wood, 1.24 billion stone, and 1.45 billion gold. Speedups wise, this is what I had before the event, and this is what I have now, which means that it took me 2,465 days of speedups, which is about 6.7 years. And now about the rewards. In total, thanks to not only the Zenith of Power event, but the ongoing Lord of War event as well, I've got 25 gold heads, 5 legendary materials choice chests, 7,000 gems, 22 gold stars, 15 epic sculptures, 198 hours of generic speedups, 61 hours of training speedups, 4.7 million food, 4.7 million wood, 3.37 million stone, and 1.5 million gold. And of course, the Supreme Warrior 15% infantry attack theme, which I'm going to be testing and comparing with other free infantry skins in a separate video. So, did it worth spending all these resources and speedups on this event? If you only look at the overall value, probably no. But I think it really depends on how long you have been playing this game. If by winning this city theme means that you won't be able to participate in a KVK because you will be out of resources and speedups, then my answer is a big no. But for newer players who have been saving speedups and resources for a T5 push, or players like me who have been playing the game for years and they only need to train troops, it does, as long as you have what it takes to get into the top 10. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any question left, don't be shy to text me. I'm really happy to talk with everyone. Fruity out. See you in the next video. Maybe.